Hello guys, welcome to another video in the series of coding. Today we're going to do a very interesting problem that is called the word ladder problem. Let's try to understand what it is. So there's a transformation sequence and a word is given, begin word, and we have to transform it to end word. And we can only use a word list that is given to us. So let's try to understand this with the help of example. But basically we have to return the shortest transformation sequence if it is possible. Let's see. Suppose we are given hit and from hit we have to make the word cog. Okay. So how will you transform from hit to cog? You can only change one letter at a time. So at a time you can only transform one letter. So let's say we have hit, right? So from hit we can, let's say, go to hot. Okay. And now we have hot. These are the words that you can use. So now you have hot. So from hot maybe you can go to dot. Okay. And from dot maybe you can go to dog. Okay. So you went to dog. Now from dog you can go to cog. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are the 5 possible transformation sequence. But this is not the only possible sequence, right? There can be other sequences also. You have to return the shortest possible sequence. Okay. Let's see some other sequence. So from hit we can go to hot. From hot we can go to lot. From lot we can go to log. From log we can go to cog, right? This is another possible sequence. So in this also it takes 5 words, but there can be other examples also. Okay, so how do we solve this problem? So the first approach that comes to our mind is, you are given a word, right? You are given this word, let's say you are given hit, right? And now you have to transform it. So what is the next transformation that you can make? So among all these words, right, you have to transform it. Okay, so you have to transform this particular word hit to some other word. So to which words can you transform it? To words from which the distance is 1, right? Because only one letter you can change at most, right? So you are given all these words. What if you find out to which of the word can hit be transformed to and already store that, right? So basically we'll store it in a map. Let's say hit. Okay, let's say we already know that hit can be transformed to, for example, hot. Can it be transformed to anything else? So hit will go to hot. And is there anything else? No. Among these word list, right, there's only one word. Hit will go to only hot. Okay, now you know hot. Now we'll see from what hot can be transformed to. Okay, so from hit you have reached to hot. Now from hot we'll see what we can make. Okay, so again we'll search this word list, right? So from hot where can we go? From hot we can go to lot. From lot, anything else? From hot we can go to dot also, right? Only one letter. We change the first letter, we are having the remaining characters same. What about hot to lot? Again you change the first letter, remaining characters are same. Okay, is there anything else? So I don't think so. So we have only two words, dot and lot, right? So you can go to dot, you can go to lot. Now from each of these two words you can again find out where you can go, right? Similarly you can store for dot and you can store for lot. So we can store for dot and we can store for lot. Okay, and we can keep on doing this until we reach cog, right? So first let's see for dot where can we go. Okay. So from dot you can go to lot, right? Because if you just change the first character everything else is same. And then from dot we can go to dog also, right? You can go here also. If you just change the last character everything else is same, then you can go. So you have dog and you have lot. Okay, you have dog, you have lot. And then what about lot? From lot where can you go? So if you have lot you can go to log. Okay, you can go back to dot. Okay, you can go back to dot. So you have these possible transformations, dot and log, okay, and so on. And then you can keep on writing this until, let's say, we get log, right? We got log or we got dog, right? So we got these two words. From these two words you can go to cog. Now cog is what we want as the answer. So this is the approach, right? But how to actually solve this? Which data structure will you use? So we can see that this is a typical graph question, right? You will use the data structure graph to solve this particular problem. So now let's see how is this a typical graph question, because you have nodes and then from nodes you have connections, right? Next possible neighbors and then their neighbors and so on. So this is simply a undirected graph. You can form an undirected graph, and for undirected graph what is the shortest path algorithm? It is simply breadth first search, right? Very easy. You have to not remember any complex algorithm. Simple algorithm is a breadth first search. So let's see that. Okay, so let me keep this example here in short so that it's always visible to us, and let us see. So we are going to form a graph, right? First node is hit, because you have to start from hit, right? Hit is your starting node. Okay, now from hit, where can you go? From hit you can go to hot, right? So from hit you can only go to one possible transformation, hot. Okay, so we went to hot. Now from hot, where can you go? From hot we can go to, for example, you can go to dot. Okay, and you can also go to lot. Okay, so these are the two neighbors. Okay, so from hot we went to two neighbors. Now again, from dot you can also go to lot, right? So they are also connected. Okay, now from dot, where else can you go? You can also go to dog, right? So this also has, basically it is an undirected graph, all are connected. You can go to dog. Now from lot, where can you go, right? If you have lot, you can also go to log. Okay, and then these two are also connected, and then these two connect to cog. Okay, so let me try to write it a little bit neatly. So you go to cog. Okay, so this is basically your graph. So this is your graph. Now in this graph you have to just apply the BFS algorithm, right? To find the shortest path, you have to find shortest path between two nodes. Which are the two nodes? Start word and end word. So what you will do is just apply the BFS algorithm. So how will you apply that? So how do you apply BFS? You just take a queue, right? So what we'll do, we'll just take a queue and we'll store hit, and we'll store it. It is at the first level, right? We have to finally return the number of words. So the level that we are at currently, we'll store that. So hit is at level number 1. Okay, we'll see the algorithm, it'll become clearer. So BFS is simple, right? You just take a queue structure, first store hit and store 1. Okay, then go to its neighbors. Let me use a different color so that it's more visible. Okay, we'll go to its neighbors. Okay, so we'll go to the neighbor hot. Okay, so then we will take hot and we will put it at level number 2, and then we'll remove this particular neighbor. Okay? So that's what we'll do. So let's say this neighbor is removed, and now what is there in our queue? Hot is there, and it is at level number 2. Okay, now we'll go to the neighbors of hot. Okay, so we have two neighbors of hot, dot and lot. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll remove this and we'll go to its neighbors. So what are the neighbors? Dot and lot. So now dot, this was at level 1, this is at level 2, this is at level 3. So dot it is at level 3, lot is also at level 3. Okay, now what we'll do, now we will again go to their neighbors, right? So dot and lot have two neighbors. Okay, so first we'll remove dot and then we'll put its neighbor. So what is its neighbors? Its neighbor is, okay, so what is remaining in the queue? Dot is remaining, and then we'll put the neighbor of dot. So dot has the neighbor dog. Okay, and it will be at level number 4. Okay, and then dot also has the neighbor lot, but we'll not put it again, right? We don't want to put it at the end, it's already visited. Okay, so we'll take care that we'll also take a set and we'll keep storing the strings which are already visited, because we don't want to visit again and again. Okay, and then we have lot. Okay, so now we'll remove lot and then we'll put its neighbors. Okay, so let me remove lot, and what is the neighbor of lot? It is log, right? So log is at position 4. So this is our queue. So let me quickly go forward. So now what is the next that you have? You have dog. Dog is at position 4. So you will pop it from the queue. Okay, we have popped dog and then we'll put its neighbors, cog. So we get cog. Cog is at level number 5. Okay, cog is at level number 5. But the top of the queue is this. So now top is next log. So log is also having only one neighbor which is already visited. So we can just move forward. Now we found cog. Cog is nothing but our end word, right? Cog is our end word. So this is our answer. 5 is our answer, right? 5 is the answer and you can return 5. So this is the basic algorithm. Now first of all, let us see this algorithm, right? Let us see it in code, and then let's see if we can go forward with this or not, or do we need a better algorithm to solve this question. So let me just quickly go over the code which we just discussed right now. So basically we are storing it in a map, right? So basically, for example, we are storing the neighbors. For example, right, hit has one neighbor hot. Okay, and then hot has a neighbor hot, and then you have its neighbors, right? What are its neighbors? So for example, hot has two neighbors, dot and lot. So we have dot and we have lot. So this is what we are doing. Basically we are taking a map, and then in the map we are basically storing the word and then its neighbors, right? Just the adjacency list representation of a graph we are taking, but we are just taking string and then the neighbors which it can be visited to. For example, dot and lot here, that we are storing in a vector. Okay, so that's what we are doing. Now how do we, this is just forming the graph. Okay, this is just this part is very important. We are just making the graph. Okay, how are we making the graph? So we are iterating over all the words, right? So for example, we iterate over the word hot. and then we iterate over all the words in the word list, right? So we are checking which are the possible neighbors. Okay, so for example, let me try to explain it better. So we have a lot of words, right? Let me copy it from here. So we have all these words, we have all these words. Now what we are doing, we are taking one particular word. So for I equal to 0, the word that is hot. Now we are trying to find all the neighbors of hot and basically build the graph. So which are the neighbors of hot? So which can be transformed dot and lot, they will turn out to be the neighbors of this. So what we are doing, basically we are taking I is equal to 0, means we are looking at hot, and then from j equal to I plus 1 to all this. So we are looking, okay, this is the line that we are seeing. So we are trying to find among all these remaining words which are the neighbors. So for hot, what we are doing, we are going to check if the difference between this word and any other word, if that is of like one character, that means we can transform it, right? There is a path between these two words. So for hot, we will find that there are two words, dot and lot, right? That can be transformed. So when they are transformed, we'll just push it in the adjacency list. So we'll just push it in the map, right? So hot is the key in the map. So behind that key, we are going to push the neighbors, right? So we are going to push dot and we are going to push dot, and this is an undirected graph. So for dot also we'll push hot and so on, because it's an undirected graph, right? There is a path both ways. So that's what we are doing. Now what is this difference? So difference is just going to find out the difference between the two difference in characters between two words. It should be one, right? Because if you have to transform hot to dot, then you have to just change one character, H and D, right? You have to just change the first character. But if you take any other word, right, hot and let's say log, you will have to change in that case two characters, right? You have to change the first and third character. So difference should be one for it to be a neighbor. That's why hot and dot are neighbors, hot and lot are neighbors, but nothing else is neighbor of hot, because everything else, for example, requires more than one transformation. So this difference, let's quickly see this difference function. So difference is basically simple function. You have the two words, right? Just find out what is a, if any character is different between the two words, just increment the count and finally return the count. So if the difference is 1, then we'll add it as a neighbor. Okay, so this is a simple way to make a graph. Okay, we have made the graph. Now after making the graph, we have to perform the breadth first search. So for that, we have declared a queue. Okay, but before declaring a queue, now we perform the breadth first search for all the words that are present in the word list, but we did not perform the breadth first search for the begin word, right? We should also perform sorry, we added all the words in the map, right? We added all these words in the map and we formed the graph, but we did not take the begin word, right? We did not take the word which is begin. For example, we did not take hit, we did not add its neighbor hot to the map, we did not add this in the map, right? So we should add this also in the map. So for that, I'm just taking another for loop and I'm just finding out the begin word, and I'm finding if which of the words in the word list are the neighbors of the begin word, right? So I'm just taking the word hit and then I'm checking all the words in the word list and finding out what are the neighbors of hit. For example, hit has a neighbor hot, right? So if it has, then I'm adding it to the map. Okay, so this part is also done. This part is just same as this part, just copied the code here, but we just didn't do it for begin word, so we'll do it for that also, because begin word was not present in the word list. That's why we couldn't do it for begin word. So now we are doing it. Okay, now let's go forward to BFS. So now we have BFS, right? So we have to basically just take a queue, the normal way we do a BFS. So we have it has string as well as int, right? Int represents the level. When we saw the code logic, we saw that that's how we are doing BFS, right? These were the levels 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because we want to return the level. So we need an integer also, and we need the string. So first of all, we'll push begin word, right? So in the queue, basically now there is hit and there is the level 1. Hit is at level 1. Okay, this is what we are pushing it first in the queue. After pushing this in the queue, okay, basically we are also having a visited set, right? So usually you can also you do it in BFS with a boolean array, but here you have a string, right? So you can use a visited set. So whenever the strings are already there in the set, we don't want to visit them again. So that's why this is the visited set that you are taking. Okay, now you are also putting the begin word in the visited because you just want to visit it once. Okay, now while the queue is not empty, we are just performing the BFS. So we are taking the first string and then finding its level. So basically currently we just had, this is hit and this is the level 1. Okay, and now we are just basically searching all its neighbors. So basically it has a lot of neighbors, right? But whatever neighbors it has, that is a vector of string which we stored in the map earlier. We are just taking that. So here hit has the neighbor hot, right? So we will take that neighbor, and then so s is basically hot, s is become hot, right? So in this case s is hot here, and then if it is not visited, we'll just push it in the queue, and then we'll, because it was not visited, now we'll insert it in the visited set. And now if it is equal to our end word, we can just return level plus 1. So this is a simple BFS, and if it is not found, we'll return 0. But what is the problem with this algorithm? See, this algorithm works. It will give the correct answer. But the problem with this is time complexity. So let me show you that. Let us submit this algorithm and see what is the problem. So let's see. Okay, so it is fine, but it's having a very bad time complexity, right? Even sometimes when I was trying to solve this problem earlier, I was getting a time limit exceeded error. Okay, if I run the code, it's going to give you the correct answer, but its time complexity is very bad. Why is the time complexity bad? Let's try to analyze that. Okay, so the problem with this is, see, we have a time complexity. What is the time complexity of this? Let's try to analyze. Okay, let's say that this has n words. Okay, word list has n words. Here we are in the question, see, I got a time limit exceeded earlier when I was trying this algorithm. Anyway, so let us see what is given in the question. In the question it's given that word list has a length of at most 5000, but words have a length of only 10. Let's keep this in mind and let's try to see. Okay, let's say we have n words. Okay, n will be at max 5000. Now let us see, to make the graph, how much time complexity are we taking. So to make this graph, first of all, we are iterating over all the elements in the word list, right? So this is just n, and then again we are iterating over the n elements. Okay, and now we are checking the difference. So we are basically checking each character. Okay, so that's what we are doing. So this will be n square into m, right? So the time complexity for this is itself n square into m, and the space complexity will also be the same. Okay, and we need not calculate the BFS time complexity, because this will be the maximum time complexity, right? This making the graph itself is taking you O of n square into m time complexity. So this is not really a good time complexity, right? So what, basically in the worst case, what will be if you want to calculate 5000 into 5000 into 10. Okay, now we have an algorithm, right? Now in this case, m is your length of each word. For example, in our case, hit is having a length of 3, right? So m is equal to 3 in this case, but m can go up to 10. Okay, so this is your total, okay, times you will have to iterate. Now we have an algorithm that can do the work in O of m into n. Okay, so basically let's compare the two values. So first time the algorithm took 5000 into 5000 into 10 iterations. Now we have an algorithm that just takes 10 into 5000 time complexity. Now which is better? Okay, let's see what is this. This is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, right? So this is 25 into 10 power 7, or 2.5 into 10 power 8. And what is this? This is basically 1 2 3 4 5. So we have 5. Okay, so let me just write it, 5 into 10 power 5. So we have an algorithm that performs much better. Okay, so what is this O of m square into n algorithm? Let us see that right now. What is that algorithm? So BFS is also okay, but it is not the best algorithm. Okay, so we have a better algorithm than BFS. So let us see that algorithm. What is that approach that we are going to take? So the algorithm is basically simple. We are going to still do BFS, but while making the graph, right, we are not going to make the graph such that we are going to store the neighbors like we were doing now. We'll just change that. How are we going to do that? So basically we have the first word hit, right? So we have the first word hit. Now let's try to find out all its transformations previously itself. Okay, so what do I mean by that? So let's find out its transformations, right? So what are its possible transformations? See, first character can change, right? Remaining characters will remain as such. So if there is a word of this type, it will be a neighbor of hit in the graph. Okay, because we can change the first character and let the remaining characters remain as same. What are its other possible transformation? Let's see all its possible transformation. We can let the first character remain as such, change the second character. Second character can be anything, right? It doesn't matter. And then we can let the third character remain as such. And then we have one more possible transformation, H, I and star. So the star can be any character. Okay, star can be any character. So if there is a word of any of these forms, it will be a neighbor of hit. Okay, it will be a neighbor of hit. So now what we'll do, we'll make a map using these values. So let us see that. Let us see that. So basically, okay. So basically we have hit, right? Hit has three possible transformations. So we will take hit, and what are the transformation that hit has, right? So we will store that. So hit has transformation, these possible transformations, right? So we will store these in the map. Okay, and now we will store the words that are of these type. For example, there is no word that is of this type, right? There is no word, but for this particular transformation H star T, we have a word which is hot, right? Because see, the second character can be anything because it is a star, but the first and third characters have to be H and T. Okay, first and third characters have to be H and T. So hot is a word of that particular type. So now we will store hot here. Okay, now let's see the next possible word. Okay, now we'll see all the words in our word list. So we have the word list hot. Okay, what are the transformations of hot? So you can keep the first character anything, right? You can keep the second character anything, or you can keep the third character anything, keep the remaining character same. These are the three possible transformations, right? So we'll store these transformations in the map. So we have star ot, and then we have h star t. Okay, so h star t is already there. So h star t is already there, so I will not store it again. And then I have HO star. So HO star, I will store it here. Now let's go forward. What is the next word that we have? We have dot, right? So what are the transformations of dot? First character can be anything. Okay. And then here we have second character can be anything. Here we have third character can be anything. So what are the possible transformations? You have star OT, right? So what are all the words of type star OT? Okay, you will store all those possible words. For example, here you will have hot, here you will have dot. Okay, because these two characters are same, right? This is what the transformation means. And then in HO star also you will have hot. Okay, and then what are the other transformations? You have D star T. Okay, D star T. In D star T you will have dot and so on. What is other possible transformation? DO star. So DO star. In DO star also you will have dot, you will have dog. So you will have all these possible transformations. Okay, now let us see. Okay, now let us see lot. So when you have lot, what are the possible transformations? Star OT, L star T. Okay, and then you have L O star. So star OT is already there in the map. Okay, so star OT is already a transformation. Okay, so you can store lot. And then you have L star T. So L star T is not there, so we will store L star T. And then you have LO star. LO star is also not there, so you can form a map LO star. You can form a key in the map. So we can keep on doing like this, right? Let me quickly see for log what else do we have. So for log we have star OG, and then we have L star G, and then we have LO star. Okay, so log will form these particular types. So L star G is not already there in the map. We have star OG is also not there in the map. Okay, and then we have LO star. Okay, so these are the possible transformations. So corresponding to these possible transformation, you can store log, you can store dog. Okay, and so on. You can store log here, you can store cog, you can basically store cog here. Okay, so this is basically why we are doing these possible transformations. Okay, and similarly you can do for cog also, but basically the idea is simple, right? Now we are going to perform breadth first search on this. This is the algorithm. So what you are going to do, first you are going to see hit, right? So you are going to find its possible transformations. What are the transformations? It could have come from here, right? Okay, it could have come from here. Okay, That's it. So you have hot, right? Hit. The possible transformation for hit are these three, but these two are empty, right? These two are empty. So if it has to go to the next step, it will only be hot, right? The next step will be hot. Okay, so now once we have hot, now we find the transformations of hot. So what are all the transformations of hot? So what are the transformations of hot? So it will be star OT, or it will be H star T, or it will be HO star. These are the possible transformations of hot. So we will search the possible transformations of hot, right? So this is one possible transformation. This is one possible transformation, right? And then you have H star T is also one possible transformation, right? These are the possible transformations of hot. Now, if hot has come, right? So what is the next step for hot? So you can see that if you have to transform hot, right? How can you transform? You can transform it to any of these, dot or lot, right? How do you know that? Because we know that because these are of the same type, these are of the same transformation, right? So now you have found the next step. So you are basically building the same graph again, but in just a different way. Okay, so you have dot and lot. So now you can for example look the transformations of dot, and you can keep going forward. So dot has all these three transformations. Now you can go to the next transformation of dot, right? For example, dot, the transformation of dot is dog, so you can go to the next step, and then you can look at the transformations of dog, and then you will find cog. So you are basically doing the BFS, but this is the approach that you are taking. So let's quickly see the code, and then let's see the time complexity of this. So basically again we are just storing the same thing in a map, but now we are going to store the transformations, right? So this will be the time complexity for making the graph. Let's see what is the time complexity. Okay, let's assume that the size of each word, okay, is m, and the size of the word list is n. Okay, now let us see the time complexity. So basically to build the graph, so what I'm just doing, I'm replacing characters by star, and I'm keeping the remaining characters as such in the string. Just one by one I'm replacing the characters by star. Okay, so that's what it is. For example, if I have to find the transformations of dog, basically the transformations of dog are star OG, and then D star G, and then DO star. So basically star means any character, because from dog you can go to any of these three characters, right? So that's what you are doing. So you are taking each word, and then for each of the string you are finding its transformations, right? So for each of the transformations, and then you are making the map. Now let us see what is the time complexity of this, right? So first of all, you are taking each word, right? So this is having a time complexity of n. Okay, now you are iterating for each of the word length. So this is having a time complexity of m. Okay, and now you are trying to find this, right? You are trying to find the transformation. So m. So this has a time complexity of O of m squared into n. So it will be basically less compared to O of n squared into m. When you are going to have the when you're going to have very large inputs as n, it matters a lot, because when I was trying to submit the solution of normal BFS, I was getting time limit exceeded. So this algorithm is much better. Okay, and then let's quickly see the remaining algorithm also. So this is basically the we have made the map, right? We have made the adjacency list. And similarly for begin word also we are doing like we did in the previous logic also. We made the map, but we couldn't push the begin word in the map because our word list doesn't have begin word. So for begin word also we are just finding all the transformations and then pushing it in the map. So this line is just used to find the transformation. We are going to just replace x. We are going to replace characters with star each time. Okay, for the entire length of the string. And now we are just going to do the simple BFS. So we are going to take a queue and we are going to push the begin word. This code basically almost remains the same as the last code. And then we have the same visited set. And then while the queue is not empty, we are going to extract the first element that is there in our queue. So queue is pair, right? The word is the pair, first element of the pair, and then next you have the level. So you are just extracting those two values and you are popping it, and then you are iterating over the word length, and you are finding out the transformations again, and each of the transformations corresponding to each of the transformations you are visiting the string. And okay, let me take an example. So for example, you found the transformations of let's say we are looking at the last transformation, right? So you found the transformation star og, right? So what are the possible transformations of this dog, cock, log? All these are the possible transformations, right? So now you will look at each of the possible transformations. So for each string, here x, right? So so this is the vector v, that is that, and each string in this is x, string x. So we are seeing if it is already visited in the set or not. If it is visited, we don't want to visit it again, otherwise we'll push it in the queue, and then we'll push it also in the visited set. So we have found the end word. So for corresponding to this transformation, when we are finding the word cog, which is the end word, we can return level plus 1. So that's it, otherwise we can return 0. Now let's submit this code and see. So it's accepted and it's having a much better time complexity. And even space complexity remains the same. It's also much better. That's it. Thank you for being patient and